So how's the week, dude? Can you believe we already have 10 episodes? 10 episodes. Isn't that
We're
insane?
at episode 1-1.
1-1, dude.
1-1. 11, dude. Bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. People who are listening don't understand what's going on, but we're doing
You know,
like
there
this.
was this, there used to be this wrestler. Well, he still exists, but he doesn't wrestle anymore.
Why is it with you always
Foley.
with wrestling? I always wrestling. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because that's all I know is
Uh-huh.
wrestling. But his name is Mick Foley. Do you know him?
Mick Foley, no.
Mankind.
Mankind. Oh yeah, of course.
Mankind.
With a mask.
And he used to do this thing. Exactly. And he used to do this thing where he would be like kicking someone in the corner, you know, like kicking them, kicking, and then you go, bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Okay,
It was my
was there ever a time during a wrestling match or a pre-wrestling match, you know, when they do those storylines, when you thought, oh my god, this wrestler is a great actor? Has that ever happened?
Like, yeah, for sure. I think one guy who pops into mind is Shawn Michaels. Like, he could cry on cue, and
No way, really?
yeah, he would like. There were times when he would cry, and like he retired once because of his back, and he started crying, and he gave this, and everyone in the crowd was crying as well.
Oh yeah, but okay, that seems like authentic, right? Because he was, I mean, he loves wrestling, I'm sure, and
yeah, but he was
retired.
back like 3 weeks later.
Okay, I mean,
there was,
Rock is a
there was
good
another guy. There was another guy called Mark Henry.
Oh yeah, big guy.
Yeah, he gave this legendary speech where he talked about like, you know, I've done it all, I've seen it all, and I don't know, but he was like, yeah, I've done it all, I've seen it all, and then he was like, he said his daughter's name, and he's like, I'm coming home, and then like everyone started crying, and people were like, oh my god, he's retiring because of whatever, and then he's like, yo, I just wanted to call up one guy because I really respect this guy, and he brings out John Cena. And he's like, you know, and then John Cena's like, yeah, just hold the title one last time before you go. And he gives Mark Henry the title. And then Mark Henry like puts it on and people are cheering. And then he throws the title on the ground, picks John Cena up and slams him. And then he screams like, I got plenty left in the tank. And it was like, people were going crazy.
That's a good storyline.
Yeah,
that's
and it was the best. Like his acting was out of this world because like, I think you even saw tears coming down his thing, and then he just.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
is there something like wrestling Oscars? You know how porn also has the best category, best acting.
They haven't done it in a long time, but they had the Slammies. Yeah.
Slammies really for best acting?
Well, they had different categories. I can't remember what they were, but like
best acting in wrestling. There's an
I don't know
awards?
if they had best acting, but
okay.
I'm sure they had best promo and best like funniest moment and things like that. Probably they had. Most emotional moment they probably had as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the.
Wrestling is great, man.
I mean,
watching oiled up men.
I used to watch a lot of wrestling when I was younger, but then I grew up.
Yeah. Thanks for the low key burn there. Why are we doing this podcast again? Just so you can freaking bully me, dude.
I mean, wrestling, I really do like. I mean, I did really enjoy wrestling when I was watching. I thought it was great. I was a huge fan of Rey Mysterio. I played the video game a lot. Yeah, I love that. I absolutely loved it.
Did you like Rey Mysterio because you and him are both Mexican or what?
See. No.
Okay.
I freaking love Rey Mysterio. I think there's no one who did not like Rey Mysterio because he was
Rey Mysterio is like the greatest freaking.
So cool.
Amazing,
I mean, everyone's super huge in the wrestling world, and then he's, I think, 165 centimeters.
Yeah, man, he's really small.
Really, but he's jacked, and then his moves, man. Wow, 619. His
really cool
finisher
tattoos.
move. Yeah. And the mask was super cool. Have you ever seen his real face when he like removed his mask?
Yeah, there's times where he wrestled without the mask.
Yeah, he looks like a kid. Like his face looks really super young. Yeah.
And it's really interesting because no offense to him, but he looks like very standard. He looks like a standard just Mexican, Latin American person. And it just shows you the power of that of that mask. because the mask makes him really stand out, you know?
Yeah, and really menacing. Without it, he just looks like a... But then, I mean, huge.
He looks
huge
like a superhero.
muscles.
He looks like a freaking superhero with the mask on.
Yeah.
And I mean, he moves and jumps and like he's so athletic. It's crazy.
I remember I once watched this promo, like the storyline thing, where two wrestlers are talking. I think it was John Cena and Randy Orton or something like that. And then they were just talking, you know, a standard thing. And in the background, you could just see Rey Mysterio's back, and he would just do pull-ups the whole time. And this scene was going on for like 4 minutes, and he just kept doing pull-ups the whole time. It was insane. Insane.
Yeah, there's actually a blooper of that video where the thing breaks because he's doing pull-ups on a cupboard, kind of. And there's a blooper scene where he like breaks and they all crack up. They all start laughing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You think they're all friends?
Of course, man. Of course. It blew my mind when I was like a kid and I started watching like backstage interviews of like ex-wrestlers and they were like, yeah, I used to hang out with this guy. And I was like, no, how could you hang out with him? You guys were like feuding for years. And it really blew my mind that like, oh, it's actually a TV show. You know, they don't actually hate each other. And it's not like the boss is not trying to like, you know, humiliate you and fight you. And then you're like beating up your boss and stuff. It doesn't happen.
Right. Dude, Vince McMahon, right? I mean, we have huge respect for him. Just what he built and wrestling is all right.
What do you think about this? I have a question for you, like a real serious question for you.
What?
I have a serious question for you. And the reason why I thought of it now is because Vince McMahon, like, he's a pretty cool guy, but he's like best friends with Donald Trump, right?
Mm.
And so there's this thing that happens where people who are like they're celebrities or whatever, or they're famous for something, and maybe they've done great things. Something comes out about them, some information, and then like you're torn as to whether you can like them or not because of that information. So like with Vince McMahon, it's that he's like best friends with Donald Trump. His wife is part of the cabinet because they donated a lot of money. So like, you know, like really crony stuff going on. And recently in one of the WhatsApp groups I'm part of, some people have been turning on J.K. Rowling because apparently she made some did you hear about this?
I heard about it, yeah.
So I don't know exactly what she said. All I know is from what I heard in the group, but she made some transphobic comments apparently.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you what your opinion is.
I don't know. I also don't know too much about it. My buddy Carl.
Maybe we shouldn't comment if we don't.
Shout out to Carl, huge fan of the podcast. Keeps sending us really, really nice messages. Carl told me about it, and I don't know. I didn't really look into it because it would break me if this is weird because I thought Dumbledore apparently is gay, and that's what she said. So I thought J.K. Rowling would be very open, very progressive, but then I guess she isn't.
The feeling I got was that she was very progressive. So.
That's what I thought. And then Carl, I said that to Carl as well, and Carl said, well, you know, there are different levels of support for LGBTQ, right? Because so many, gay is just one part of the whole community. So she might be open to homosexuals, but not other parts of the community. So,
right.
Yeah. I don't really know what she said though. I don't really know, but I think she said something against female trans people. I think I'm not.
All I know is that I read that Daniel Radcliffe, because that was sent in the WhatsApp group, and Daniel Radcliffe said that he's really grateful to her and that they have a great friendship, but she's wrong on the issue. And then he said specifically that trans women are women. So apparently that's the statement that she made.
So she said they're not women?
That's apparently the statement she made. I don't know exactly verbatim, and I think we should actually look it up before we comment. Right. But yeah.
Because we don't know too much about it, what we can speculate on. I was thinking, Harry Potter does have a lot of... Because the UK is so international. Like, whenever you go to London, it's so mixed. Harry Potter, is it mixed? I think it is, right? I mean, they're the Patel sisters who you explicitly told me I could never date.
You're not allowed to date, dude.
Yeah.
Stay away from them, you freaking...
Well, you're staying away from Cho Chang, man.
No, no, because you did that as retaliation, and that's not allowed.
You think you have a
principle.
chance against Harry Potter and Cedric Diggory?
It doesn't matter if I have a chance. It matters. It's the
whether
principle.
You're gonna go for it or not. Oh, okay.
Exactly, it's the principle.
Well, okay. So what's the first day you're gonna take? Are you gonna take her to a Chinese restaurant?
You don't think I could take on those fools? You don't think I could take on those fools? What's up, dude?
What, with the Glamazon pose?
I've been watching wrestling all my life. You don't think I could take on those fools?
Oh man, what are you gonna do with Cho Chang on the first date?
I'll take her to. Okay,
Oh, you're blanking. Oh, you didn't give a lot of thought to this.
Chinese restaurant.
Chinese restaurant with bubble tea afterwards.
Exactly.
That sounds like a lovely date. Actually, please take me on a date like that. That would be.
Dude, you don't want to be fueling those rumors.
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
exactly.
Talking of which, actually, we're getting a lot of rumor that Ali and I might be gay, right? A lot of people have told us that we're homoerotic, which is fine.
A lot of homophobes out there who don't understand, who think that, if you're two male friends, there needs to be like, whatever, this distance.
Yeah.
Getting really uncomfortable because we are very comfortable with our sexuality, my friend.
Yeah. PDA, right?
Said,
public display of affection.
True, we are gay.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No,
we're not.
Not
no,
true.
We're not. But homoerotic. I guess I don't know what that even means. But yeah, we're just gay friendly. And
how many people actually use that term, homoerotic?
I don't know. I learned a lot about it in German class when we were talking about literature.
No, I meant how many use that specifically to
for us. Several friends. Several friends. Yeah. Several people have said that, Alice, shout out to Alice, said that there's palpable sexual tension between us.
Palpable. It's touchable. You can touch it.
Well, that's what palpable means. But,
it's
okay.
Palpable. Doesn't palpable literally mean like it's not physical, but like you can feel it so much that you can feel like as if you could touch it.
Like electrifying?
Yeah, electrifying is like the sensations, but palpable is like something that is not there but is so strong that you can almost touch it.
Like in the atmosphere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's get back to Harry Potter talk. So, dude, who would you rather date? Which of the Patel sisters? Because one goes to Gryffindor and the other goes to Ravenclaw. They're twins, I think, right? And they go to separate houses.
Hufflepuff?
I don't. I think one is in Ravenclaw, one is in Gryffindor.
No, I was in Hufflepuff.
Oh, no, you were Ravenclaw, or you wanted to go to Slytherin, and then you switched to Ravenclaw. And I'm a Hufflepuff, mostly.
Then I would
and
have to go
sometimes
for the Ravenclaw.
Well, you don't have to. It's like, it's a bit like incest. You don't have to date inside of your house. You don't have to date inside of your house.
Why, dude? Keep that blood pure, dude.
Oh, you're definitely a Slytherin, that's for sure. Oof. Well, okay, where would J.K. Rowling end up? Especially after saying this. She's definitely no Hufflepuff, because they're the friendly, loving ones.
Maybe she would... Maybe it's like... Maybe she was Voldemort all along. She's like the 7th Horcrux. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You keep drinking. Can't you just drink before?
Dude, it's tea, man.
What kind of tea is it?
It's black tea. It's what Indians love, dude.
What kind of Ceylon? Darjeeling?
Earl Grey.
Ooh, that's
real
nice.
Indian tea, not British. They stole it from us, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Give it back.
Where do you buy it? Do you buy Twinings? That's the British one, though.
No, I buy like these leaves.
Oh shit! Actual leaves.
Not leaves, but like they're not in a They're not in a tea bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just in a.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
do you know what do you think of my beard, by the way?
Your mustache. I think it's cool. That's why I keep calling you Mexican, because I feel like you look like an essay, man.
Thanks. I'm trying to. Yeah, I hope. This is like 2 weeks ish. Maybe I'm gonna go out another 2 weeks, and then I'll have a 1 month beard or mustache. I mean, I don't have so much hair.
But are you getting hair like underneath or what's
yeah, I've hair underneath my chin, and then on my chin.
Like, you just got a neck beard. That's it.
I guess. Yeah, nothing on the sides really. No, it's a bit patchy, and then my mustache is looking all right though. I think. Yeah, I think it's looking okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tight. How long did you grow your beard? It looks freaking awesome.
Dude, man, I think I shaved. Oh no, it was some time. I think the last time I shaved was about 7-8 days ago.
7-8 days. Okay,
yes.
Well.
I'm loving these stories we're putting up, man.
The stories? What do you mean?
Yeah.
In the Instagram.
I feel like we can, on the video podcast, we can really talk about what we want. Like, we can even say inflammatory stuff, because I really think that the only thing that people watch is those no promos.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm trying to like entice people to like go to
switch over to the whole thing. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think that it's basically limited to.
I mean, we could also just publish the posts as well on YouTube. Actually, we should consider that maybe, like the short clips.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe we should do that.
Why are we talking business on the podcast
I don't
itself?
know. Business, as if we were earning money with it. Jesus, we're not gonna earn money with this for another few years. Hope maybe, hopefully sooner.
Just say you're gonna earn money in 6 months, and I bet you that's when it's gonna happen. If you say,
mindset,
we're gonna earn in a few years.
Mindset,
dude.
Mindset. Oh, so can you explain? So that's a book I introduced to you, right? I think last year. Mindset.
I think your sister, and then Yasmin.
Okay. Yeah, because she also introduced me to that book, and then changed my life forever. One of my favorite books of all times. I have posters here, as you can see. This one here, that's growth mindset related. This one kind of also. So right. Yeah, it changed my life. Can you tell our listeners more about the mindset book?
Yeah, it's a book about. It's a book about how basically there's two different mindsets, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, and that basically, you're not either growth or fixed, but there's aspects of your life which will be fixed mindset or growth mindset, and the idea of growth mindset is that if you try and apply that to the things you do, all your activities, whether it's raising family or your job or whatever, then it's a way that you can always be improving yourself and getting better at things. Whereas with the fixed mindset, it causes you to kind of get stuck in whatever situation you're in.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's job or family or whatever. So that's like the very, very basic.
Yeah,
I would say
the Spark Notes.
Explanation. Yeah, exactly.
Cliff Notes, Spark Notes.
I think both.
Yeah, they're both, right?
Yeah.
I think.
That's both a term. I think Spark Notes was a website that made Cliff Notes of books, and then people started using Spark Notes and Cliff Notes interchangeably.
Also, there's a book. I think that one of those is a book series. Like, they bring out books about books.
Maybe
one is I think Spark Notes
was like the website.
The online version. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was like a website then, guy.
Yeah.
We used to use that in school, but I think now it's like useless.
Man, there's so many books in school I wish I'd read back then.
Like
in German class, I think I read 1 or 2 books only in those many years. I didn't read Faust, like Goethe's Faust. I didn't read anything by Schiller.
Faust, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really regret not reading that, but Schiller, Die Leiden des jungen Werther, apparently is amazing. It was Napoleon's favorite book. You know, Germans were his enemy, but it was his favorite book. I think that's super interesting too. And I didn't read any of those. The only thing
I read... What do you think about Napoleon, dude?
I don't know too much about him, but I think he's very... I mean, there's definitely some aspects of his life that are very inspiring. So...
You think he should have been a bit taller?
Apparently he wasn't that short. You know that?
Oh, really? I thought that
he just looked shorter because his bodyguards apparently were super tall. So he always looked shorter. And I mean, but for that time, he was pretty average sized.
Dude, how cool is Cleopatra?
Yeah, you know they didn't live at the same time, right?
No, but how cool is she? She was what?
Man,
She lived
she's
like
a
4,000
seductress.
years ago.
Jesus.
4,000 years ago she lived.
2,000 years ago.
2,000 years ago she lived, and people still like talk about her.
Yeah,
She's
dude,
like such a
she's like
influential figure.
She seduced. I mean, she was running a country, right? Which is
Julius,
amazing.
Marcus Aurelius.
No, not
Who
Marcus
else?
Aurelius. Mark Antony.
Mark Antony. Who else?
Julius Caesar, Mark Antony. I think that's it. Isn't that enough? I mean, she was sleeping with two of the
most powerful man, and then she had kids with, I think
Mark Anthony or Julius Caesar. I'm not sure, but then she got killed, right?
I think they committed suicide together, right?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, I think because I don't know who won. Octavian won, I think. Yeah, Octavian.
Also, there's this rumor that she was chilling with, I think, Mark Anthony, and he was like, he said, "Oh, I can let me show you a trick. I'm going to eat the most expensive thing ever." And then he was like, "Oh,
what a trick.
Let's see it. What a trick. Let's see it. Whatever." And then she's like, "Cool." And then she takes like a gold coin. Oh my god, I'm totally butchering this. She took a gold coin and she put it like in oil, and then it dissolved, and then she drank it. She was like, "This is the most expensive meal ever," or something. I'm sure when she did it made sense and it was really cool.
That's so stupid.
And no,
that doesn't
like,
sound
really
cool at all. What the fuck?
No. Because I'm butchering it. I'm like messing up certain details. But she did something that was really cool.
At all. Okay.
But, I mean, how cool is she, man? She freaking like she's immortalized.
Dude, apparently, I mean, everyone talks about how she's beautiful, but apparently she was not even that beautiful.
She wasn't even that good looking because you know why? Because she knew what's up, you know?
She knew how to just seduce men, and she was super smart, obviously, so that's
And I'm
attractive.
sure that people went nuts just thinking about her because of all the rumors and things like that. And I'm sure
she's like the piece to have, I guess. Like, that's why the piece to have, that sounds so, but... You know, obviously she was
the
running
most chauvinistic thing that's ever been said on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't mean it like, I guess. But
You're
they probably saw her.
Dude.
That I don't know. Did they see her? I mean, she was running a huge empire, right? So I guess these Roman generals, they had massive respect for her. And
I love reading these stories, these historical stories. There was this other guy.
Like dissolving gold.
Yeah, no, that was my bad. I butchered that one. I should have researched it before. But there was this one guy who became the Roman emperor, and he was like, he went nuts, and he fired his like hand of the king, his number one guy. He fired him. He was like, "You suck," and he made his horse the number one, and he was like, because the horse knows what's up, and he made the horse the number one, and then he was like, "I'm out of here. I'm leaving Rome. I'm going to like." I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to like Cairo or something, and you can put another emperor on the thing because I am going to Cairo to become a god. And then he like bounced to Cairo to try and become a god, and then like on the travels they like assassinated him because he like went nuts. And I think he also tried to burn down Rome. Like as he was leaving, he was like, "Burn it down," and then they started burning it down. Yeah, he went like absolutely nuts. This guy.
Wait, was it Nero? No. Nero actually did burn down Rome, I think.
Yeah, no, there
were several. Do you know about the Praetorians?
No.
They're the bodyguards of the Roman emperor, right? And they had a massive influence and power. What?
They did the thing with the shields?
No. Those are centurion. No, those are soldiers. But the Praetorians, they always stayed with the empire. Like they're like the secret service of the Roman empire.
They were like
I think.
The bodyguards. Like
So, but they had huge influence, and they apparently assassinated a lot of the emperors, and installed their own.
You want to hear something really crazy?
What?
So,
someone dissolved a silver coin. So, sorry, you go ahead.
You know how I seduce women? I'm like, you want to see something cool? No, but so the one of the prime ministers in India, one of the Gandhis, she she went. They're not related to Mahatma Gandhi, by the way. She was like, she was fighting against this like terrorist organization in India, which was, they wanted the Sikh part, I think the northwestern part, I think, they wanted that to be independent and to be a country for Sikh people, right? The third religion in India, Sikhism.
Yeah.
And so they were fighting for that, to kind of like make that a thing. And the guy, one of the leaders or the leader of that movement, he hid in what's called the Golden Temple, which is like the Vatican or the Mecca of Sikh, right? It's this huge golden temple, and he hid there, right? And then she ordered the armies to go into the temple and pull him out, and either execute him or arrest him, whatever. But in any case, she ordered armies to go into this like holy thing, right? And then a couple of years later, she's like chilling, and one of her bodyguards is Sikh, right?
Oh, and
she's like chilling, doing whatever she's doing, and he just like and he shoots her,
for that.
And then of course for that, yeah.
Whoa! But years later.
Yeah, I don't know if it was it's a couple of months later or years later, but it was a Sikh guy, and it was a Sikh bodyguard of hers. And I just thought to myself, like, shouldn't you have been a little more like, wouldn't you have thought like, hey, look, I don't think it's safe for you to be my bodyguard. So
I mean, I don't know.
Fired. Get out, you're fired.
I mean, but that would be discriminatory, right? And she might
assume... yeah, as if in India they're like, oh, this is discriminatory, please don't do it. Bro, they discriminate on people in India on the like freaking, they're slaughtering Muslims right now as we speak, man.
Ah, Jesus.
Like, there's a full-on genocide going on there. There's no such thing. Discriminatory. They like hate on people who are like too dark. Dude, man, discriminatory is like day to day in India, man. It's not even like, all respect to India, I really love the country, but it's like, it's really discriminatory.
Dude, when are you gonna show me around in India? I'm gonna show you Korea, you show me India, man.
Well, once they stop slaughtering people like me, maybe. Once it becomes safe to go there. Also, the COVID is like going insane.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Not. Look. Realistically, it's not unsafe for me. It's not unsafe for my mom who lives there. Not extremely, or not yet, at least. It could always change, but the thing is that realistically, it isn't. What the worst stuff that happens, where there's less police, where there's less, which is a lot of the country. 95% of the country, population lives on the outskirts or in the countryside, where there's hardly any law, so, or where the police doesn't even bother.
Right.
But why should they? I mean, not why should they, but why? How can they? It's like, first of all, they don't even get paid that much, and second of all, it's like
too big. Yeah.
You're one polipoliceman for like 10,000 people.
Oh, Jesus. Did you?
So if stuff kicks off, what are you gonna do?
Did you watch Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah, man.
Did you like it?
Dude, that movie messed up my mind, dude.
In what way?
Well, so this is like the worst, but there's a scene in the movie. Spoilers, by the way. There's a scene in the movie where they show how basically these orphans are recruited by these mafia people.
Yeah.
And then the mafia people, they basically test the orphans. So if you can sing well, or if you look cute, whatever, they then assign you to different kind of beggar roles. So if you sing well, they blind you. They like pour hot oil in your eyes so that you're blind, so that people, when they see you singing and they see that you're blind, then it's like it gives more sympathy. You'll quote unquote earn more money as a beggar that way. And when I saw that scene, and when I saw that they would blind kids, or they would like twist their limbs, so that they were like crippled, they would twist their like legs and stuff so that they were crippled and things like that, just so that they could gain more sympathy. I remember all the times I was in India and I would see beggars.
Oh no.
And I would see like they were blind, or I would see that their limbs were twisted. And I remember thinking like, oh, they were just born that way, or there was some accident.
Right.
But when I watched that movie, I realized, Jesus Christ, like this is
Purpose,
this is people this is like part of the business, is that they do this to these kids. And I remember that that really like messed with my mind, because I was like,
that's really fucked up. That's insane.
yeah, it's really terrible.
Man,
what goes
that's
on there.
horrible.
Yeah,
I remember those scenes.
You know,
that
that
those
country, it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world, but it's also one of the most like raw, you know, like really raw countries.
I mean, but they're what, 7th of the world population lives there, so you know, I mean, if there's anything human, there's a huge chance it will happen in India, right?
Yeah, for
Joy
sure.
and sorrow.
True.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. That's hey, that's very beautiful the way you put that, man.
Joy and sorrow.
Yeah,
they should be the
well,
name of.
If there's anything human, there's a good chance it happens there. It was such a like
philosophical.
Yeah, nice, man.
Dude, I for the longest time I didn't even know Buddha is Indian, because I always thought, you know,
Siddhartha, baby.
Yeah, because Buddhism is so much bigger in outside of India.
Dude, he was freaking skinny, man. He wasn't
I know,
there
I know.
all fat and laughing.
I know.
About,
I wrote a bit about that actually recently, but anyways, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What? Did I interrupt you?
No, go on.
You look so offended.
I'm not offended. I'm just smiling,
okay.
dude.
Okay, all right, okay. But yeah, man, show me around in India, dude. I'd love to see India, and yeah, incredible India. I always saw those ads on CNN when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go, and Indian food is freaking amazing. Oh man, I would like to eat Indian food
well,
now.
get ready. Once you eat there, there's a very high chance you're gonna be whoop, you know what I'm saying?
Diarrhea?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, but then diarrhea is good, right? You said.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, but you know, it's gonna happen. You know.
You think? I think because my stomach can. Really?
Always, no. Trust me, always. There's like, you can be very lucky if you eat like only vegetarian.
Which I do. Yeah.
If you eat only vegetarian and you eat like, you make sure you eat a lot of the grilled stuff or a lot of the fried stuff, then you'll be fine. But if you eat meat, even if it's grilled, good chance that you'll get, you know, or like a lot of the spicy stuff.
Okay.
Like the stuff they put spices on and things, then there's a good chance you'll get, you know,
something. Oof.
Yeah.
Even in good restaurants? You said
just,
especially in good restaurants, right? That's what you said.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's just there's a good chance that you're gonna get diarrhea, bro.
Right. Well, it's not the worst.
Yeah.
I can handle it.
Because there have been times
food.
where I haven't gotten it, but you know, there's been times.
Do you cook a lot of Indian food at home? No, right?
I don't really. I cook mostly Asian food, dude.
Well, Indian is Asian food.
With your Far East Asian food.
Far East Asian.
I love Korean food. I love Chinese food.
You cook a lot of Vietnamese food though. That's Southeast Asian.
Vietnamese, yeah. A lot of Vietnamese food.
Do you cook Indonesian?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but dude, apparently, I think we should wrap it up. But apparently, apparently in Chinatown, in the 70s and 80s, when Vietnamese started coming, immigrating to Chinatown in New York, and there were already Chinese gangs set up there, right? And they'd carved out their turf and stuff like that. And then the Vietnamese came in, and apparently those guys were the most they were like the most insane, because they came from like war area.
Oh.
So apparently they would like throw grenades into police cars, and they would like behead people. They were like they were the craziest gangsters.
Whoa! In the 70s.
Well, the ones who were the gangsters. Obviously, not every Vietnamese.
Right.
Was
shit.
But the ones who went, you know, did the thug stuff, like the thug life stuff. Those guys were apparently like the craziest mofos out there. Yeah.
Where did you hear this? Is it in a movie?
I was watching an interview with this guy called China Mac, who grew up.
Shit! No way! He's in prison again, I think, right?
No, he's out now. He's been out for a couple of years.
I think he went back in.
No.
Is he that rapper, that one rapper who's in Rikers Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
China
not
Mac,
back in, because I literally saw a street, like he was commenting on the BLM
okay, all right,
demonstration.
okay. But he went back because I watched an interview of his a few years ago, And then he went back to prison, apparently.
He went to prison when he was like 19 to 22. And then at 23 or like very shortly after, he went back to prison for 10 years. And then he got out when he was like 32, 33 or something.
Yeah, but then again, I think he went.
Again?
I think briefly, yeah.
Okay. I
but,
don't know, could be.
I mean, that's insane, right? It's, whoa.
Yeah. Oh. Listen.
So he was talking about that.
I gotta do a quick shout out to my buddies at the LTNT podcast, Lifestyle and Technology. My buddies Alex and Nikki. I was on their podcast on Friday, and we talked about the big R. Can you guess what that is?
Big R?
Yeah.
Reflex? No, that's the only word I can think of right now.
Yes, we talked about reflex.
What was the R? Big R. Big
reflex. That's what we talked about. We talked about racism, dude. That's the big R, bruh. Come on,
see, I don't
dude.
even see racism. I don't even see racism.
Oh,
that's how...
shit, you're blind to it. Oh, okay. I guess we talked about reflex then for the Pascals out there. No, we talked about racism. We talked about the things that are happening. And we talked about the comedy scene in Vienna. So it was a real fun talk. Nikki is a really good friend of mine from school.
Nikki's awesome.
Alex, exactly. We got to meet Alex through football, and he's a really cool guy. And
Alex, half Filipino, Alex.
Half Filipino, Alex.
Oh,
exactly.
Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Alex. Shout out to Nikki, and you can visit their podcast is LTNT. So the alphabet, the letters LTNT.buzzsprout.com. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, they're awesome, guys. Check their podcast out. They're freaking awesome. We used to play football together, all of us. That was super fun.
LTNT.buzzsprout.com.
Yeah.
And check out their latest episode. It came out Friday. I'm not sure what it'll be titled, but probably something with racism, and I'm a guest on it. And
they brought you on as a racism expert?
Yeah, I was the racism expert. How to commit racism professionally. I gave them all the tips about how to be a racist.
I asked you this before, but because I felt like in my school there was racism because it was very, I guess, homogenic. But you went to an international school, which obviously by definition is very mixed. Everyone's from somewhere else. So in my opinion, it always looked like international schools don't have any racism at all. Is that correct?
Honestly, I have to say that I really, really feel like we didn't. I really feel like we didn't. And I have to say that, like, if I ever had any negative, how do you say vorwürfe? Like negative kind of thoughts about certain races, it really came, I know this sounds really bad, but it really came from like media. So if I ever thought that like a certain person was rough or thuggy or whatever, it came from media making me think that. But in school, we never had any, like, no one was nice or mean because they were white or black.
Right.
You know, we knew everyone was who they were based on their personality. Right. And it was really only after when we started growing up and when I started, like when I was in Canada, like also when I was in Canada, I remember seeing like groups of black guys wearing the same colors and going in like big groups, you know? And then I would like, they would be in groups of like 10.
Okay. But wearing the same color? What do you mean?
Wearing literally, well, you know how gangs wear the same color.
Oh, so it's okay.
And they were literally, and then basically based on media, I knew, okay, gangs exist, gangs do this, gangs do that. So that's when I started thinking, maybe I should like avoid those types of people, Right. And even though, so I don't know, I feel like media, I felt like for me personally, from the outside, things that I like from the news or from media or from movies, things like that, those were the things that made me think, oh, this type of person is dangerous or this type of person I have to avoid. But it was never like, in school, we never had that because there were so many of us from so many different, areas.
Right.
We didn't see any of that,
Right.
What about you? You had a bit of racism in your school, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, nothing compared to what's happening now, and I mean, nothing like that. But yeah, I did feel different for sure because they weren't just it was mostly white, and I was definitely treated differently, especially in the early years, and I just didn't. I was very sensitive to that.
I mean, the whole thing sucks, man, because it's like people treat you differently, and then you act differently or accordingly, and then it just becomes this vicious cycle.
For sure.
Know?
I mean, I still don't feel very Austrian, right? Because of that. And only outside of Austria do I feel Austrian. Yeah. Because now I'm treated as Austrian. It's just a weird thing.
Especially like this whole, like, that whole, you know, this whole idea of like these urban or ghetto places, right? It's like the police treats you a certain way, so you act a certain way. Your teachers treat you like that. You know, whatever. And then it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I mean, the kind of people who get out of that life, like, that's really respectful. You know, the kind of person who, despite their surroundings, is able to, you know, get out of that. But it's like, it's no surprise to me that certain people, you know, end up a certain way if their environment is completely, you know, one way.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I heard so many Austrians complain about, for example, the Turkish immigrants. But I completely understand the Turkish immigrant side because they are treated so badly often. And then, of course, they feel like, why should I care? Why should I? You know, I definitely understand their side way more than the other side. Just because I also was treated differently, and I completely understand that they're not given the same chances and they're treated differently. And anyways, this is going to be a long discussion, so let's just wrap it up because we're already going.
We should wrap it up before you start talking about your true feelings, which are super racist, by the way. Or super, should I say super reflexive?
Super reflective. No, reflexive, right. Why do you always do that face when you do my impression?
Because that's how you look, bruh. That's you, dude.
All right. Well, thanks guys for listening.
I'm so sad.
Thanks guys for listening. Stay tuned. Please check out Alex's and Nikki's podcast. And yes, our podcast, we have a new episode every single Sunday. And follow us on Ali the Hasnain and Pascal Hausberger on Instagram. And we upload this podcast on YouTube as well. So check us out there. Just search on YouTube, put in kimchi-curry podcast, and it should show up. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. And see you next week.
Bye, guys.